Alright guys, welcome back. I am Erin with e.l.c. Homestead for everybody who's new. So it is that time of year where we need to do some seed starting. It is the beginning of March, about the end of the first week of March actually. So we need to get our tomatoes and onions, peppers, pumpkins, watermelon, stuff like that, all started. So when I put them out in the garden the weekend after Mother's Day, they will be big enough and sprout fruit in time. This year I'm doing something a little different. I've never planted anything in a solo red cup, but many people do, and it seems to work fine. So that's what we're going to do. I also did not buy my typical garden soil this year, which I always use organic Miracle-Gro potting soil. But this year I'm using dirt from our yard. It's actually the dirt out of the raised garden beds. We've already planted in it, so I know it works, and I've dumped a bunch of compost in it, and the chickens have been in it, so it should be good soil to use. But let's go through with what I'm going to be planting in the garden and what I still need to get. So I'm going to be planting zucchini, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm buying any more of this because we don't eat a lot of zucchini, and I have quite a bit of seeds in there. So I think I'm good on zucchini. This is a Blue Lake bean, bush bean, which I'm going to be buying some more of those, and a strike green bean, and then we also have a jade bean. Now I am all out of jade, and I only have a couple strike and a couple of the Blue Lake, and I get all of my seeds from Mi Gardener, and I seem to have good luck with them. But these and the zucchini are going to be a direct sow, so we will not be starting those today. We are going to be starting watermelon. And we have actually quite a bit of watermelon. Let me dig all the watermelon out that we have. I have several varieties of it because I want to try all of them. Some I've already tried, like Crimson Sweet I've already tried. So we're going to plant a few of those. The Moon and Stars watermelon I have not tried. We're going to plant a few of those. Black Diamond watermelon, haven't tried. We're going to do a couple of seeds of those. And I think this is a personal size watermelon, as well as the Moon and Stars, and the Crimson Sweet. I do believe all three of those are like personal size. We are doing a Cal Sweet, which I've had before, so we're going to do a couple of those. And then a Tender Sweet orange watermelon, a couple of those. I know that's a lot of watermelon, but we like watermelon. We don't usually have success with them. I think we successfully grew one watermelon last year. It wasn't ripe, but it did grow. So hopefully this year we'll have better luck, but still fun to plant them. We're also going to be planting pumpkin. I have, let's see. So I have two different types of pie pumpkin. I have a sugar pie and a long pie. So I have, little sweet pumpkins that can. I can also can the Kinetic Field and the jack-o'-lanterns, but these are the bigger pumpkins, and they're going to be grown for the pigs and the chickens. For people who don't know, pumpkin and pumpkin seeds is a good natural preventative wormer for chickens and other poultry. So that's why I'm growing these two, so they'll have a bigger pumpkin to eat. So we're going to get some of each of those started. We're doing lemon cucumber, and we have another one in here, Armenian cucumber. Now these are my favorite cucumbers to eat fresh. So we're going to grow however many of these I can get to plant in the garden. If I have extra, I can probably just give them to my sister because she's, I think, going to have a garden this year. But I'm also going to try to pickle these and make relish out of these. But we're going to get these started. And then we have some peppers. Now I'm not 100% sure if my pepper plants or seeds are still good. I've had them for a couple years. This makes the third year I've had them. They're not open. They've never been wet. These are just the burpee seeds that I bought at Walmart. We have sweet peppers, California Wonders, and Big Red. So we're going to get a couple of those started. I do plan on getting some more pepper plants. I think we've decided on banana peppers. There's some more sweet peppers. There's like a purple one and a yellow one and an orange one that I still want to get. The yellow and orange, those are two of my favorite along with the red. The purple I've never tried, but I do want to grow it. We're going to do carrots, which this is a direct sow, so we're not going to start those today. And those are the little finger carrots. And then I need to buy some more of my beets. We have Detroit Dark and Early Wonder Tall Pops. Those are also going to be a direct sow, but I need to order some more of those. Some others that I'm going to be doing. Let's see here. So these are the rest of my carrots. So these are another pack of little fingers, and then I have 2 packs of tender sweets. Now I probably am going to order more carrots to grow, since I will have designated raised garden beds for them, but those are direct sow as well. Some of the melons we're going to start, other melons, honeydew and cantaloupe. These we're going to start today. As you can tell, we do like our melons, so those are going to get started. Now, what I grow the most of is tomatoes. I love growing tomatoes. It is my absolute favorite thing in the world to grow. I don't know why, they're just fun. And this isn't all the tomatoes I'm growing. As you can see, I have a ton of them. There's still a couple more varieties that I want to order. They were just out last year when I ordered them, so hopefully I can get them this year. And these are all last year seeds, because like I said, I wasn't able to have a garden, but I did buy seeds just in case. So first tomato we're going to do is the yellow pear tomato. These are my daughter's favorite. I don't plant a lot of them, only just a couple of plants for fresh eating. I don't really do much else with those. We do have the golden nugget. These are really good, again, for fresh eating. This is a new variety to me, which is the German pink. This is a slicing tomato, a heirloom tomato, but I'm going to grow it to add to my saucing tomatoes. There's a marinara sauce I really want to make, and the one person I watch that makes it regularly says to add one of this variety along with a couple other varieties. So, going to be growing that to make sauce out of. Large red cherry tomatoes, that's for snacking. This is another one for my sauces. This is the old German tomato. This is a new variety. Have never had this before. And then my paste tomatoes, I have an almond paste that I'm going to do. This is a new one. This is banana legs. Never had those. Then we have Roma. We have a striped Roma. I've never done the striped Roma, so I'm not exactly sure how big they're going to get. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but I've never grown these tomatoes, so I don't know how big they're going to get either. The alpaca tomatoes I'm growing, and then just some more Roma and Amish. Now I will be ordering some more Amish, Roma, and I'm going to try to get another alpaca, probably, where did it go? I think there's another one that's, I can't remember what it's called, but it's somewhere along the lines of the German pink and the old German. I think it's called like a grapefruit or something like that. And then I'm actually missing a tomato seed. It looks like it has disappeared. Let me go see if I can find that one. Okay, so I could not find that pack of tomatoes. I will be ordering it again. It looked like a yellow pepper, only it was a tomato. It's called, I think, a stuffing tomato or something like that. But I will be ordering it to make sure I have it, because I wanted to try it. So I'm just going to get all of these sorted. And we are actually going to start with all of these tomatoes first. Now, I have not got my greenhouse yet, so over in my living room I got 2 windows that sit at a like L shape kind of. and quite a bit of sunshine comes through there, so I'm going to put a rack in front of there and put my seeds inside this year. And also to the side of me I have a really big window and a ledge that I can put seeds in. So we're going to put seeds in there. Alright, so I just have my dirt down here below me in a tote. It's really, really heavy. And just going to go ahead and fill this up. Now you can see that the dirt is very loose dirt. This all came out of my garden bed, so really broke down. It does have weeds and stuff in it, but that's okay. Another seed that I still have to buy are my onions, because I just realized I do not have onion seeds. So I will need to be buying those. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start with our paste tomatoes. So we're going to do the e.l.c. Give me just a minute here. So I don't forget what they are, I do have masking tape and a Sharpie pen. So I can write what's on here, because I do not have my little garden tags this year either. Well, maybe I'll open it. Okay. Just going to stick it on the side of the cup. And since I only have one e.l.c. pack of seeds, I'm just going to plant in these 4 cups. I have 4 here. Gonna try to do 2 seeds a piece. I might put more cups. We'll see. I think there's 25 seeds a piece, so. I've never had very good luck with the e.l.c. tomatoes ripening in time. So that's why I only have the 1 seed. The 1 seed packet. And if you're a gardener, you know that tomato seeds are very, very tiny. So they don't need to be planted too deep. I just do, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just 1, because there's really not enough room to do 2. The roots will get bound. I normally plant more than 1 seed in here, so I'm not planting multiple seeds to get multiple plants. I'm planting multiple seeds to ensure that I at least get 1 plant. Unlike onions, where I would plant several seeds in 1 cup to get several plants. Just because they're able to do that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and plant a couple more in here just to ensure I get an actual plant. Okay, we're going to put these seeds back and get a couple more cups filled. Now I don't have holes in the bottom of these. If I do need holes, I will do it later. But for right now, I do not. And I don't think I'm going to need them. For the most part, the people that I've seen planting these don't poke holes in the bottom. Okay. I get another cup here so I can finish filling these cups up. This one's a little shallow. All right. Trying to get all the seeds in the center of my hand so I can get them grasped. Trying to break up some of these dirt clods that are in here. All right, so I'm going to make 3 more labels for these tomatoes. Okay, so that's it for the Opoka tomatoes. Now, it does say, like I say here, where I live, we need to wait until the weekend after Mother's Day. Our last frost date is the end of April, but we usually typically get one more freeze after that, and it's always on Mother's Day. It is always freezing cold here on Mother's Day. So the weekend after that is when I will plant. And it's about the right time because it does say to start 6 to 8 weeks indoors before our last frost. So it's the end of the first week of March. So that gives me the rest of this month and all of next month. And then it takes about 90 days to mature. So hopefully these grow. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up some more of these cups, and then I'll be back to plant some more with you. Okay, so I got 10 more cups filled, and I've got them labeled for what I'm going to plant right this second. So I'm doing 3 of them in Roma tomatoes. Trying to get a lot of my sauce tomatoes planted before I know I'm going to run out of space. I don't know if I have enough space in my house for all of these, but we're going to cram as many as we can. I need to get the dirt clod out of here. Broken up. That's a rock. We don't need a rock in there. Now the tomatoes that I just got done planting, I put over there in my window. And that's where they will stay because they'll get plenty of sunshine there. All right, that's it for the Romas for right now. And let's see, I've got the German pink ones. I've got 2 that I did for German pink. Now I'm hoping, since I'm planting these in the bigger cups, that I don't have to up pot them later on, and that they can just stay in that cup until they're ready to go out in the garden. Alright, and then I got 2 of the old German ones. Making sure these clumps are clumps and not rocks. Alright, and I did 2 Amish. Now I will be planting all of my tomato seeds. Probably just not today. I only have time to plant a little bit today, and I want to make sure I get as many tomatoes that I have room for. So, yeah. Alright, so there's Amish paste. And then I did 1 yellow pear. Now, because I'm planting multiple seeds to ensure that I get a plant, which is what I do every year, every year I get multiple plants, so a lot of them will survive. Sometimes I do have to throw the weaker plants away, but a lot of the time I do get strong plants, multiple strong plants per container. So that's just a bonus. Okay. And there's that. Okay, so I think I got them all planted. Let's see here. My focus seed pack is empty. Let's see. 8 weeks, 8 weeks. Just reading the back to see how many I need to plant before. Okay, so these don't need to be planted right now. The cucumbers both say 3 to 4 weeks, so they can be planted next month. They don't need to be planted today. I think all the pumpkins say 2 to 3 weeks, so those don't need to be planted today. What about any of these melons? Alright, so 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Alright, it looks like this tomatoes needed to be planted today. Those are all my direct sow over here. All direct sow. These don't need to be planted until next month. So next month I will be planting cucumbers at the beginning of the month. And then the second week of the month I will be planting all of my melons and probably the pumpkins, because the pumpkins do say 2 to 3. So probably these for the second week of April, and these will be planted at the beginning of April, and I will bring you along with me when I get that going. Alright, so let's get a couple of cups here and get these planted so we at least have some peppers started. Now the year before last, when I did have a garden, I started everything a little bit too early, and by the time I was able to get it in the garden, a lot of them had died because I overcrowded my greenhouse. So I'm going to try not to do that this year. I just get really excited about planting because it's one of my favorite things to do. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure I don't need a staple in my garden. Okay. I could lift my tote of dirt up, I'd put it on a chair, but it's got to be emptied a little bit more. It's a lot easier if it was at waist height instead of ankle height. Ooh, that's a piece of glass. All right, get some of these red peppers labeled. So I'm not gonna label Big Red or California Wonder, I'm just gonna label them sweet peppers, and if they're gonna be red, or these ones can be green or red depending on how long you leave them on the vine. Yeah. Okay. So I'm probably right now, I'm just going to do 1 cup of those because I don't know if the seeds are still good and I don't want to waste a bunch of my cups and a bunch of my soil planting seeds that might not grow. So the rest of these cups, the other 4, I'll get some more tomatoes going. So in this one I have California Wonders, and this one I have the Big Red going in. And I am going to plant multiple seeds. Hopefully that'll help ensure a plant. I'll pick some of these weeds out of here. Kind of make a well all around. All right, that should be good for those ones. And I will be buying more pepper plants just to ensure I get a good pepper harvest. I will have a raised garden area for the peppers. They tend to grow better if they're up off the ground rather than, you know, in a regular bed. I'm just actually going to plant all that. There isn't as many seeds in this one as there was the last pepper pack. Alright, so all the peppers that I had are planted. So the last 2 seeds we're going to do right now are the large red cherry and the golden nugget, because actually I might do those in a couple of weeks. Maybe get some of these other tomatoes. I think I'll get some more of my sauce tomatoes. So I got 4 cups. We'll do the one that I can't pronounce. It's like Sheboygan. I don't know what it's called, but it's that one. And then a striped aroma, the banana legs. We'll do those ones. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So right now I am just going to do one of these. Now, tomatoes does say 6 to 8 weeks, and yeah, I do believe I'm within the time range. It's probably a week early, maybe. I'm not sure when Mother's Day is this year. I might be a little bit early, so maybe this is all I'm going to plant today after I get these last 3 seeds started, because I don't want to be like horribly early with my seeds. Now I do have bigger pots at the last house that I was living in. I just haven't got them over here, so if I do need to up pot these in a really big pot, I do have several of them that I can do that with. Alright, so I have one more cup that I can start. Maybe we will do the gold nugget. Now I am hoping to trellis my tomatoes this year. Put 2 T-posts at the end of a 8-foot cattle panel or 3 T-posts along a 16-foot cattle panel. Have a few of those so my tomatoes can grow up instead of laying on the ground, and I won't have to buy a bunch of tomato cages. So we're going to start with the tomato that I don't know how to pronounce. Now I am only going to plant a couple of these seeds per cup like I have been with the tomatoes, because I do want to get as many plants as I can out of them. And with tomato seeds being so little, I want to make sure I don't waste them. Alright, so this one's going to go for the striped aroma. Now one thing I do not grow here is like peas and lettuce, cauliflower, broccoli. I do not have luck with any of those because they're a cold weather plant, and with the way our freezes and our frosts go, it's a little hard to get them outdoors. I'm sure if I had a greenhouse where I can plant them, then that would be better, and I'm hoping by next year I can do that. But they just get too hot, and then they ended up not growing. I do want to try some cold weather plants for the fall harvest, but it's all going to depend on how cold or how warm August is, because August it usually gets like 100 degrees here, and that's not good for cold weather plants. By then though, I might have my greenhouse up so I can kind of regulate the temperature and put a fan on them if need be, but we'll see. That's still to be determined. So that was the banana leg that I just planted in this one. And then I'm doing the gold nugget in this one. Now that only leaves one cherry tomato plant left, which is the red cherry. I'm not real worried about starting that today, so I'll probably do a couple more next week, because I need to get my shelf in here this weekend. But for now, these will all fit on my windowsill, which is very helpful to have large windowsills. So this is the only one that didn't get planted. Everything else got some seeds in a plant or in a cup, and I do believe I still am a little early, but it's okay. I didn't plant a whole lot. And then I will be back to do the rest of it with you next month, but let me grab some water so we can get these watered in. Alright, so I just filled up a couple of mason jars to get these watered in. And because this is not garden soil and it's not light and fluffy like that is, it shouldn't take a lot for the water to get down to the bottom. And I also want to be careful how much water I put in it, because there are no drain holes and I don't want it to turn to mud. So I'm just filling it until it has a little bit of standing water on the top, and then letting it soak down to the bottom. is a kitty cat meowing somewhere. I can't figure out if it's the one in my son's room or if it's the one outside. Alright, so I think we're going to have to put a little bit more dirt because it did sink the dirt down quite a little bit. So just going to get a cup so I can put some extra dirt on the top of these. I'm not going to fill them up too full, but enough where it doesn't look like they're drowned. One good thing about having them inside, I don't have to worry about the birds, I guess. That's always a plus. Alright, so those are all watered in. I do still have to water these ones in, but all of my window seals are big like this. So these are going to go all the way back there behind my freeze dryer as far as I can get them. And then my other window across my living room, there are big window seals over there too, so the rest are going to go over there. Alright guys, that's going to end the video today. If you guys like videos like this, please like, subscribe, and share. That's free to do, and it really helps my channel out, and I greatly appreciate it. And I will be back at the beginning of April to plant some more plants. So if you like, join me then. I'll see you then. Until then, have a great day.